Okay, are you ready? Is your body ready? It's 20,
let's
20 minutes. I hope we can watch it in 1 hour. I really do. I really do. Okay.
See someone abuse a pet or animal on the internet.
Now, do you know the story about this?
I know Peta.
No.
They're
This
all
guy.
for animal rights.
No, this guy.
No.
So basically, what happened was, he has his dog. Okay, it's a whole
Hassan with the shock collar on the dog.
Yep. Allegedly, we don't know. Allegedly, he's very rich, so I cannot see shit because I'm gonna get sued. But allegedly, people are talking. So
Then chances are you'll probably see someone in the comments somewhere saying, "Call PETA." In fact, one could even argue that this has been a thing on the internet for as long as we can remember. But what is PETA anyway? Well, it stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. What a wonderful name for an organization.
I love it.
Okay, well, what do they fight for? Animal rights? That's awesome.
I love
not
it.
Quite. Here's how
Piggies.
they describe their own mission on their website. Animals are not ours to experiment on, eat, wear, use for entertainment, or abuse in any other way. Okay, kind of extremist, right? The idea that no one's allowed.
What do you think about like, do you eat meat?
I do.
Okay, so what do you think about us using the leather and everything else if you eat the meat? So you consume the meat, but you also use up everything. For example, you can use the bones to make the gel for whatever, gummies, or, you know, like industrial. You can use the leather to make clothes or bags or whatever, like I don't know, additional covering for tractor chairs, you know. So what do you feel about
if you're gonna kill animals, you got to use the whole part. You don't just waste it. You don't see. That's why I never got the whole hunting for sport. You know, like, if you're gonna kill something, eat it. I'm always down for that. Like, I've tried the sort of man-made grass or grain-based meats and shit, and I'm just not a fan. If they could make meat, you know, in a lab, I'd be down to try it, so we don't have to kill animals. But until it's close enough to be a replication, I still like meat, you know.
Yeah, because it's you know, it's part of your DNA, and say what you want. Oh, we humans are not made to eat meat. If we were not made to eat meat, you would not be able to digest it. Okay? Like, you will not be able to eat meat. You would not have the teeth to eat meat. Okay? You would have just fucking, I don't know, a strobe to slurp the water. Or, you know what I mean? Like, if you can eat meat, you can eat vegetables, so you're omnivore. You're made like this. So I'm kind of in the middle of it. Like, when I get, like, I'm very biased towards some animals. So for example, if I get emotionally attached to like an animal, even like a pig or a cow, I cannot eat it once I get the attachment going on. I would rather die.
Yeah, I'd be the same.
I would rather die than to eat the animal I'm attached to. But if that's where, I don't know. Like, if I'm in an inhabitant island, right, and it's just me and Piggy, I will die. I choose death, right? Because I choose dying with the pig together than me surviving a bit longer. But if there's somebody else with me on the island,
well, you and Piggy gonna eat him, eh?
I mean, that's a good point. But I feel like I would, especially if it's like a kid or like a young person or an old person, elderly, I would probably vote for eating the piggy. I don't know. That's a weird bias, right? If I'm alone, I would die. But if I'm somebody, I would not pull them into my bullshit and just say, hey, if you want to eat it, you can eat it. But then if you're eating it, I'm also gonna eat it. That's a weird kind of No?
One of those things, though, like the hypothetical doesn't really work because you just don't know how you're going to react when you're that hungry.
Yeah.
You'll
That's
probably
true.
fucking chew off your own arm.
That is true.
But no, Shinobi's right. Pigs in the wild are boars, and boars will not let you be friends with them.
Oh, that's true.
They will fuck you up.
Yeah.
If the pig's trying to kill me, I'll be like, I don't really care for Pig anymore. He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah. I mean, you say Peta is cruel and are major liars. It is true. That's why this video covers it perfectly. So we're gonna see it in the future. I feel we haven't researched enough about animal stem cells. That's the thing. I don't think they can grow meat as normal meat. I feel like it's in our DNA how we have to, like eat stuff over a long period of time. And, like if you put any like steroids in the pigs, their meat is different. If you like, push something else, the meat is different. So it's not healthy. It's not the same. It's not grown over a long time. You know what I mean? So if you growing meat in the lab, how good can it be? It doesn't have brain. It doesn't have control over what nutrients it's going to take and how how large it's going to grow. So it might be like they're gonna just take cancer cells and just fucking make it grow infinitely and then sell it to you. Oh, this is meat. No, it's cancer. You know what I mean? Like it's I can hardly believe that you can grow meat without growing an animal like in a normal way. I'm sure you can like push steroids or some kind of bullshit fucking gene designing that's not meant to be, but I would be against. I would rather if like everybody cancels, like stops eating meat and just outlaws it and it's against the law and you cannot eat meat unless it's like grown in the factory. I would rather go vegan then. Like if I cannot have like a regular animal, I would just say fuck it, if it's outlawed, it's outlawed. I'm not gonna eat it, then I'll just go fucking eat vegetable. I feel like
that depends how good the science gets. If they can lab grow meat and it gives me the nutrients I want and it tastes like a steak, I'm down for it.
I just don't feel like they would know how to do it, because again, like everything you have is programmed in your fucking DNA. So how would you have
rewrite the DNA?
Yeah, but like that's how you get like all the fucking what's it called what the fuck, like like you have like a cousin and cousin have marriage and then the babies come all fucked up, you know what I mean? Abnormalities, yeah. So how would you even like manage to reproduce it when you like barely know how we are like made, let's say, how our DNA works, right?
Well, see, we know absolutely nothing about that, but that's not saying that the scientists don't.
That's true.
Just because we know fuck all doesn't mean
I
they're
just
out there
don't.
going,
No, I'm thinking just from like basic fuck, my English words are getting bamboozled. Like just from like my God, I can't remember a specific word. Like a regular thinking, like I have this information, I have this knowledge. So I'm like, okay, from what I understand now, I don't think they can grow meat that are meat. They can grow something else maybe, like some fucked up things, you know what I mean? But I don't believe that you can just, boom, here's an animal. We grew it without the brain, we grew it without, whatever. It's just a lump of meat. That's something fucked up from the void. Does it make sense?
It depends how you look at it, though. Like,
yeah.
They have like 3D printers for food. So basically all you need, like you can get powders for protein and all the nutrients and shit you need. Then all you need to do is stitch it together into something. Hell, we could all just eat fucking, flavored gruel that has all the nutrients we need. It'd just be getting all the nutrients you need and then stitching it into something that has the same texture as a steak.
Okay, I missed. Dude, the chat is going on. God taught us how to eat meat. He helped prepare the first meat. There we go. Listen to Jesus. They put powdered bug in meat and we can't digest it properly. They put powdered bug in meat. What? Powdered bug in meat and we can't digest it that properly. I don't know what you mean. I think animals should take an intelligence test for survival. Maybe. Again, if it's an inhabitant island and there's me and Piggy, I would probably choose, to evaporate. But if there's me, Piggy, and somebody else, like Graves says, we eat the other guy. We eat the other guy. We both become boars. My Piggy becomes the boar, and I become the boar. And then we eat the other guy. Okay? Bill Gates lab-grown meat. Nah, Renos, be nice. Don't talk like that to other people. Be nice, man. Bill Gates lab-grown meat causes animals to die and is banned in countries. Oh, Down syndrome, baby. Okay. Bill Gates lab-grown meat causes animals to die and is banned in countries. That is... See, I was right. Because it's not, it's not going to be natural. It's going to be some kind of forced. They can make a creature that grows quickly and is very violent and just kills... And just kill that and give us that as food. Again, I don't want anything lab grown. I don't know. Maybe just my bias, but like I don't want anything lab grown. I don't want lab grown tomatoes. I don't want lab grown piggies. Okay? I want pure animal that had a life, okay, had experiences, and then they go poof and I eat them. Okay? Does that make sense? I guess that makes sense. Okay,
you can taste the memories in the meat.
I mean, I'm not gonna, give away my secrets. So, again, I've been rambling for 20 minutes and we watched 40 seconds of this. Let's just continue.
That's definitely interesting, but most people can definitely agree with the other parts. But how is it that an organization like this managed to make so many generations of people be aware of its existence? How does it have such a monopoly over the topic of animal rights?
Yeah, Peta, everybody knows Peta.
It's actually all
this is
thanks to
crazy.
their marketing strategy. You see,
you wouldn't drink your mom's breast milk now, so why drink a cow's? Because... I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, that's how we grow, like in the farm. Everybody drinks meat. Everybody eats potatoes and meat. Everybody drinks milk. I don't know. It's just how you're grown. I assume if I was, raised as a vegetable eater, I guess you just get used to it and you're okay. And if you're like, because I believe it's also generational, like you get, like, your body is used to eating something from previous generations, and then that's how you, like, that's the food you like, that's the food you can go around with. So for example, in my farm we don't eat as much fish, so I'm not a big fish enjoyer, and like I'm okay. I can eat fish once a year and that's fine. But if I don't eat meat once a month at least, or once every couple weeks, I will go insane. Like, I actually feel like a drug addict, But everything else, I don't need to eat any vegetables, anything else. But if I don't eat meat once every few weeks, I actually can, like, feel it in my mind and in my body. So I do feel like there's a lot of, like, generational, genes kind of things. And you're just, like, used to...
But also, with not eating meat, if you were to just stop eating meat in general, you need to substitute that for something that gives you the protein and those other, like, vitamins that you're getting. If you just stop it and then you just keep eating vegetables, you're still missing out on something.
Yeah.
So the people are just like, oh, I stopped eating meat and I felt sick. It's just like, yeah, but you didn't make, like, a proper diet for yourself. You can live off just vegetables and all that other shit by themselves, but you have to be eating the right stuff.
Okay.
Since PETA was created in the 1980s, they knew that people had bigger worries than wondering where animals came from and how they were processed in factories. So to truly get their message across, their strategy has always been to grab headlines by any means necessary. For decades,
That's crazy.
PETA would be synonymous with ridiculous marketing campaigns.
That is
This right
crazy.
here is one of the most famous examples. A group of naked women laying in coffins in public saying they'd rather be caught dead than wear animal fur. Things like this became an important part of PETA's DNA, and it would help them spread awareness about their cause and their organization to multiple generations. But that's, of course, until Gen Z came along. A generation that kind of grew up understanding what they were, but by the time they became adults, became so desensitized by the internet that nothing really shocked them anymore.
That is
PETA
true,
had used
man.
the same
Yeah.
strategy for
We've seen
decades.
so much
I
shit.
saw early
The
internet
problem
shit,
with the
man.
strategy,
I
though,
saw
is that
all
over
the horrible
time,
stuff.
for it to
I'm
remain effective,
desensitized.
every campaign you make has to be more shocking than the previous one. And more importantly, the line between bull chalk and rage bait is extremely thin. And for years now, PETA has been absolutely clueless about the fact that they had crossed it a while ago. They had essentially gone from very...
I love how they make this. This is AI thing. This one of like AI videos. I love how they put that shit in the eye, like it's a tear, and like there's no part of the fish that can cry or anything like that. It's just like, hey, you're cutting me, like you have the perfect rolls of my skin, like, but you see there's no fish. Okay, there's this fish inside. Never mind. But this is like, I don't know. I feel like I forgot what to say. My God, I feel like my brain is getting fried, and I'm losing my way of thinking. I'll hopefully I remember later.
Old marketing campaigns that no one had ever done before.
Let's
to
pretend
now
this didn't
posting
happen.
an AI-generated image of a fish being cut into sushi, calling it artistic rendering, and being
bro.
community noted. That's just plain embarrassing. For years now, this has been PETA's reality. They're nothing more than just rage baiters, and they failed to see that. They've completely lost the plot. And speaking of losing the plot, it turns out that PETA actually enjoys killing animals more than most
No
killing them.
fucking
After
way.
numerous investigations spanning across multiple
Yeah, this
years,
is the thing.
many have been able to conclude that
They
PETA
put down
enjoys
cats
killing
and
animals
dogs
way more
because
than just
this is
putting them up
fucking
for adoption
bullshit.
and finding them a new loving home. Why? Because they believe owning a pet dog is slavery. I wish I was kidding. Don't
Yeah.
believe me? Well, the founder of PETA herself said that
This
pet
is the shit that
ownership
put
is
me
an
over the edge with
abysmal
PETA.
situation,
Fucking
and
hell.
argued
They have
in a
fucking
2014
kill
interview
shelters and
that
shit.
outdoor cats should just be killed. It's better for them. By now, and we're still in the intro of this video, you're probably wondering, okay, how the hell does this organization even still exist? And how
My
can it possibly
God.
get any worse? Well, recently, PETA decided that killing animals is not enough. They decided to openly tarnish the legacy of a dead animal. And the backlash that they experienced was biblical. You see, Silent Suzuka was a Japanese racehorse
So
with an unrivaled...
let's go back to this one. How can you say that killing an animal is better than somebody adopting the animal? Like, that is
Yeah,
insane. That's
this is
not
the
only against
insanity of them.
animals, but that's like not being able to understand of life, man. Like, if I had to choose, if I am dead or I'm fucking paralyzed and alive, I still prefer being paralyzed, bro. Because I prefer living. Because I can still feel emotions. I can still, do something. Whatever. Talk. Think. Whatever. Dude, if you are dead, that's it. Like, how? And it's like a big company. I can't believe that there was not a single person in PETA that was like, guys, this is fucking retarded. What are you doing?
It's insane. It's just like, yeah, we're just going to kill the animals so that you can't give them a loving home. Like, fuck off.
And you are the ones who are like, so PETA was people, etiquette, or whatever.
People for the ethical treatment of animals.
Treat them like family. There we go. So I need a regular person to pay attention to this. Okay, the horse.
Japanese racehorse
Oh,
with
this
an
is great. I like this.
unrivaled legacy. I mean, he was extremely fast and well known globally to anyone who followed horse racing. However, in 1998, his life ended after a tragic injury on the track. What
Okay,
really made
1998.
Silent Suzuka stand out during that incident, though, is that even though he was in horrendous pain, he didn't flip out, he didn't try to injure his jockey, no. He silently went to the side of the track, dropped off his jockey, and when he was sure that his human rider was safe, proceeded to collapse. Yeah, he was one hell of a horse. Now, in
Goddamn.
2021, the mobile game Uma Musume Pretty Derby would come out in Japan. It would be an anime horse
Have you
girl
played this game?
racing game, with every one of these anime girls representing a famous
Have you
Japanese
played-
race.
My partner plays this.
Played this
My
game?
partner plays this game. No. Fucking horse girls, dude.
Extremely successful in Japan, would release globally in 2025 and would make billions of dollars.
Billions.
And one of the horses that was immortalized as an anime horse girl was none other than Silent Suzuka. In fact, Uma Musume would even have an anime, and Silent Suzuka would make an appearance there too. So as you can see, this was a very well beloved and very well respected horse to this day. So what the hell could have
There
Peta
we go.
possibly done
Peta,
to
fuck it
create a
up.
worldwide
Come on, Peta.
backlash? Did they pay their respects to this wonderful animal that showed incredible compassion to humans in its final moments? Of course not. They instead would post
My
a disgusting
God.
image of the anime horse girl version of Silent Suzuka with a grotesque leg injury where you
That's
can see
insane.
the bone protrude outside of the skin, arguing that if the game was honest, your favorite horse girl wouldn't get any comeback arcs. One failed event and the race is over, just like what happened to
How
the
can you
real
decide
Silent Suzuka.
that, hey,
Permadeath run on a horse girl? What the fuck, dude?
hey, let's make a picture of her. So this is Twitter. Kids are gonna read this. So your favorite character getting fucked up by who knows what, broke their leg, bones are seeing. If Uma Musume Pretty Derby was honest, it's a fucking human horse hybrid anime. What honesty are you looking for, you dumb fucking stupid bitch?
Yeah.
What honesty? Like, these people are so fucked up. And I think they're still going. Like, they're still having insane amount of money, and they're still going to this day. Peta needs to be fucking cancelled. Attack helicopters, choppers. Attack. Holy shit. What is chat saying? When I hear Peta, I think
Send
about the movie.
Ants after him.
Sorry?
Send the ants after him.
Into the arena. Into the arena you go.
Into the arena.
Okay, the chat is saying cabbage munchers look older and are very unhealthy. I wouldn't say so, but meat gobblers, pure carnivores look a lot better. I feel like we can hear a bias in your voice, sir. I feel like the bias. When I hear Peta, I think about the movie The Ring, when the Asian lady says Peta all the time. Okay. Money is a very compelling thing, you know. That is true. That's why Peta works. Like, they receive so much money that they cannot stop this bullshit.
Arguing that if the game was honest, your favorite
Watch
horse
this.
girl wouldn't get any comeback arcs. One failed event consequences. This
Watch this. They're having this fucking, you know, like animal. They say, oh, Pokemons are animal cruelty. This is fake.
I mean, on the subject of
pixels.
Pokemon,
Yeah,
Pokemon's great because it is a fucked up premise, though, isn't it? We capture animals and make them fight to the death.
but it's a fucking
It's
game.
fucking glorious.
It's a fucking game.
Yeah, exactly. They need to just be able to distinguish the difference between fucking a video game and reality.
Yeah, I mean, we have
But honestly,
Counter-Strike.
When they do that, they do Pokemon Black and Blue. That just looks appealing, bro. Let's go. Fucking Pikachu going wreck
I mean,
some shit.
it's crazy. Like,
He's out for blood.
why would you compare fucking pixels with real animals? So if I am playing World of Warcraft and it tells me bring me 10 hides of a boar, so I'm a fucking, you know, Geneva Convention breaking citizen. Like, what the fuck are you saying? It's a video game. Like, it nobody's getting hurt. It's not fucking real. It's just pixels. You dumb,
I think
stupid.
it is the rage bait, though. Like that tweet says, it's rage bait for
Oh,
marketing because
true.
everyone these
Yeah.
days likes to rage bait for engagement, and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, and it works.
Yeah, you are right, sir. And it worked on me too. I got fucking angry. Holy shit.
Get
Holy
baited.
shit.
Oh, you got to send them a game code. They made you
Oh.
angry.
Very true. I failed. God damn it. Are you a Dark Souls boss?
Send them
Yes.
Uma Musume.
Yes. Look at this. Do you know it? Do you know the movie It? This is me.
Oh, the Stephen King one.
My special powers are sitting and complaining. So basically, you win the boss fight if you can handle 3 hours of me yapping. There's no outlay. You just have to sit there and take it. And if you do take it, you win. That's a weird thing to say. I need to stop. If you do take it, you win.
Clips.
I need to stop. I'm gonna get banned. I'm gonna get cancelled without career, bro. That is crazy. Okay,
This time, though,
let's continue.
They fucked around and they found out. Because not only did this post get viewed 16.4 million
60
times,
million
not only
times,
are there
holy shit.
11,000 replies completely shitting on their entire existence, not only did this post get community noted, but it even prompted a Japanese politician to speak out on this disgusting behavior, as well as the owner of Silence Suzuka. Guys, this was probably one of the worst things PETA could have ever done to their reputation. More and more people are looking into the fact that they're killing more animals than they're saving.
That's insane.
With Japanese people in particular finding out the true nature of this company rather than thinking that they actually fight for animal rights. And unlike their usual rage bait, this time there were many people that destroyed the hell out of PETA with facts and logic. Actual real arguments that showed that Uma Musume Pretty Derby did a million times more than PETA could ever hope to achieve. It was hilarious seeing this disgusting organization get pummeled to oblivion.
Good.
So that's why I thought I had to make a video about this. So you already know the drill. Let's do this. All right, so look, as I mentioned in the intro, PETA gained prominence, or I should say relevancy, due to its shocking and bold marketing campaigns like this.
I mean, I could never eat a dog.
If dogs tasted like pork, would you eat them?
Yeah,
What's
me
the
neither.
difference?
No, I can't.
Go vegan. Showing the image
I
of a
would.
dog with a
I would rather eat people than eat dogs. Is that a crazy thing to say? Because
They call it long pig. People are long pig. Brother.
long pigs, yeah. We have the similar DNA.
Tastes like pork, apparently.
We have similar DNA.
It's
right?
white meat, so.
Who cares? Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about white people, so it's fine. It's fine. Just give the jobs to the DEI and eat the white people. I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm gonna get cancelled. It's okay.
pig's head. By PETA's own standards, though, this was definitely soft. You see, one of the first instances of extremely shocking yet somewhat bold marketing campaign
PETA linking
was as
meat
far
with
back
mass
as
murder.
1991.
These
Back
guys are
then,
insane.
One of America's most infamous serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, was captured.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey was
Big
someone
boy.
who had captured 17 males and, well, got rid of their limbs. He would then place them in the fridge.
He
and eat
tasted
them
the long
later,
pig.
Because guess what?
Oh,
The guys were
yeah.
humble. What would PETA do? Well, they'd publish a newspaper advertisement pretty much likening meat packers to being exactly like Jeffrey Dahmer,
Jesus
someone who killed
Christ.
17 human beings. Now today, if this happened, no one would really care, but back then, people cared a lot. This caused unprecedented commotion.
Yeah, it's
It was
insane thing to
exactly what
say.
PETA wanted. From their point of view, their mission is to get animal rights messages out to as many people as possible, which is why they try to make their actions colorful and controversial. Colorful is a very interesting word. All in the hopes of grabbing as many headlines
Racist.
around the world and spreading the message of kindness to animals to thousands, sometimes millions of people. They would then gloat that this approach has proved to be amazingly successful, and you know what? To their credit, initially it was. For the first 2 decades after PETA was established, they would spread awareness over some extremely inhumane conditions that many animals faced in different areas, whether it be factories, farms, or hell, even government agencies. The outrage following these investigations would help new laws be put in place. Laws that would either help animals get treated better
Okay.
or straight up
Well, they
shut
did some
down
good.
certain labs or agencies that would
Yeah.
mistreat them. However, not all good things last forever, and at some point, PETA would lose the plot entirely. In fact, after my research, I can personally conclude that they had officially lost the plot by 2003, when they would release their newest marketing campaign, an exhibition
He's
titled
insane.
Holocaust on a Plate. And yes,
That's
it is
insane
as
thing to
horrible as
do.
it sounds. In fact, here's a summary
Oh
of the
my
slide of this
God.
exhibition. On the left, you would see a Holocaust victim that went through famine, and on the right, you would
Bro.
see a cow that went through famine. I don't think it would take
The
a genius
same.
to understand that Jews back then were extremely angered by such a marketing campaign, likening the suffering of so many people in World War II to the idea of eating meat. I mean, come on. And at a certain point, this would just get old. People wouldn't take them as seriously
Oh
anymore.
my God.
Around almost a decade later, in 2014, PETA would release a marketing campaign in which they say that dog breeders are literally the Austrian painter, releasing a poster of a dog with the infamous, well, mustache. And if you thought that wasn't bad enough, on the same year, if you went to Peta's website,
See? I feel like you drank too much milk in the when you were a kid, and this is what happens.
Fucking hell.
This is what
They
happens.
told me I'd get strong bones, but I just got fucking the tism, mate. Fucking hell.
You know what? I feel like there's
All
a
that
limit.
Cow's milk and Tylenol.
When you-
Fucking hell.
There's a limit of like you sending the message and people fucking despising you. Cause like no matter how good the message is, if people fucking hate your guts, it's not gonna work. Like people will go against you just to be against you. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows what Peta is. I've never seen anything about Peta in the past 5 years besides this video. Have you? Like, have you seen?
them. I've seen them. They've popped up for the same rage baiting shit that they've been doing for years.
Really? Okay.
I've seen memes, but I don't look too far into it because it's just.
How they survive?
just
Who's
study-
giving money? It's insane. Studies. Who studies? John from the
I
second
just want
floor.
to know, like, so many people drink milk. It's something that we've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
And some
That's
cunt's just sitting
why.
there and going, I used to drink mill and now I have autism. It's like there must be a connection between the two.
Oh,
Like,
God.
come on, man.
I've
shit.
also ate bread, and that's why my
Yeah.
pee-pee don't work. It's all connected. It's all connected. Through the
I
stomach.
have bread now. I can't breed.
Yeah. That's a good one.
There's the tagline.
That's a good
That's
one.
the tagline.
That's a good one.
We should
Studies
make
have
fake
shown
headlines.
A link between cow's milk and autism. Now, this confused the hell out of people, and it could mean one of two things. The first possibility is them saying that cow's milk causes autism, which is extremely incorrect.
Why
There's
only
nothing
cow's
in
milk?
any way, shape, or form proving that. And the second possibility is them
Because
saying
all
that
the
only
autistic people they
people
found
drink
had
cow's milk,
drinking
which I don't like
cow's
to sit
milk.
here and tell you
Smart.
sounds really bad. Pretty much saying that there's something very wrong with autistic people, which isn't the case. They're just people. You see what I meant in the intro? Once you make shocking
Yeah, we're
statements,
people.
the only way to keep people's attention is to somehow make a shocking statement more shocking every single time. But with the line between shocking and rage bait being so thin, yeah, it's no surprise by this point
Bruh.
people thought Peta was a joke. Their stupid antics were starting to alienate vegans.
Tofu
from
never
wanting to
caused
support them.
pandemic.
That was their target audience. I mean, mid-pandemic in
disgusting.
2020, when people were wrestling with the fact that they had to be isolated for God knows how long, Peta comes out and says, "Oh, hey, yeah, this happened because of you meat eaters. Tofu never caused the pandemic." Dude, shut the fuck up. Now, yes, this
You know,
stupid attempt-
it's another thing where like people don't realize how much shit they kill by growing their crops like avocado and their fucking tofu and like green beans and shit. Because if you have a place where they only grow those, plants, and they don't switch the locations, because normally what you do in the farm, for example, you have animals feed on the grass and shit in there, right? Like you have like a huge fucking section of the like outside. And then in the same area, you move the animals, and then you have crops. Let's say hay or whatever, way or whatever, how you call it in English, right? And then you move those, and the next year you put potatoes in there, right? And then next time you put animals again. So this kind of conversion, like it keeps the soil not dead, because you need microbes in there. You need like bacteria and stuff. You need ecosystem growing. So if you have only one crop, it eats the shit it wants to eat from the ground, all the nutrients, and that ground is dead. So what they do is they juice it up with all the fucking chemicals. They put all the random shit like to kill all the insects, small rodents, birds, because they can't afford to lose the plant, because they lose a lot of money to making it. So you have fucking billions of insects and small animals dead because you want your avocados. So, and people will never understand it, but they are immediately attacking. Oh, you're eating meat, you're killing animals. You kill so much more shit. Just if you take like a volume, you know, how much insects and animals you kill with your pesticides and bullshit stuff just to spraying, you know, and keeping like the birds away. Because you take away the plants from the birds will die because they need food. If you know, if there's no food in that area, animals will die. And then if you poison the animals, they're also dead. So for you to say, oh, my way of making food is pure and it's, you know, we're fucking angels and no, everybody, no. Of course not. The farmers kill so much shit. Yeah. Like, bro.
Which is used in like most fucking noodles and shit. That stuff just fucks the environment. Yeah. Everything fucks the environment.
Yeah.
Our planet's fucked, dude.
Yeah. Every like, step you take, honestly, you kill. So because there's food on the floor, animals come to eat it. If you spray poison on the animals or like, you know, put the fucking covers on the plants, animals will die because they see the food, they're coming, you know, but they can't go through the net and they will fucking die. Do you understand that? If you eat the fucking vegetable and the fucking rodent does not get that vegetable, the rodent will die. That's the ecosystem. I don't understand how people don't get it. There is nothing in this world.
People just don't understand. We are destroying this planet fucking good and proper.
Yeah. In general.
Humans are good at. We're good at destroying shit.
But everything, that's the point. Everything eats everything. You eat the shit on the floor, and then you die, and then the floor eats you. That's the ecosystem. But that's true, man. Is it not? That's true.
It is, but the way he said it just makes you think, in Soviet Russia, floor eats you.
No, but it's true, because that's how it is. That's life. Everything gets consumed, you know. For the plant to grow, plants consumes all the nutrients from the ground, and so other plants die. So some plants kill other plants. And they grow bigger, and they take, you know, they put the shade on other plants. They grow the fucking trees. They grow the leaves. So they grow above other trees, and they suck, you know, the sunlight, and they grow bigger. And then smaller plants get fucked, and smaller plants die. That's life. That's how it goes, right? And then somebody.
Circle of life.
Yeah, that's the point. Everything consumes everything. Oh, this pure. The animals are eating plants. They're safe. Plants are also life. There's the same fucking, you know, atoms and bacteria, whatever is going in your body. Like, fuck, I'm getting so angry. I'm getting debated.
And another code.
That's a second game. I'm losing a second game. Holy shit. Okay, let's continue because I'm gonna lose my mind.
Rage bait is definitely funny, and while I'd love to just sit here and laugh, unfortunately,
the rage bait is definitely funny.
Yeah, I'm getting rage bait right now.
Especially if you like animals. You see, this organization is nothing more than just a group.
This one is insane.
In 2017, two PETA employees would kidnap a 9-year-old's Chihuahua. They assumed that it was a stray.
How do you assume?
Because, of course, they hate the idea of putting up a dog for adoption. However, state laws say that they have to hold the pet for 5 days to make sure there's no owner that, well, will come and claim it. They chose to ignore that rule and euthanize this poor Chihuahua within the same day.
Same day. That is insane.
And PETA paid them $49,000 to
That is
settle.
insane.
But that poor girl is probably traumatized for life. But I wish that was the worst thing they'd done. In 2005, 2 years after their completely tone-deaf
same day shipping to the
campaign,
Lord, right there.
Start noticing that the dumpsters behind the supermarket in North Carolina was filled with dead animals, specifically cats and dogs.
No way.
Well, it turned out it was none other than PETA. The two employees in question would be acquiring these pets by lying to veterinarians.
So they kill them?
They're going to put them up for adoption and then just euthanize them.
And they throw it away in the trash bin.
The veterinarian who had given these pets to PETA thinking they would get adopted would later say they were in good health and were very adoptable, especially the kittens. It was tragic. And PETA was able to get away with this because of a stupid law in the US that says that PETA and other shelters are allowed to kill owner-relinquished animals for virtually any reason at any time without any effort to find them homes.
My God.
Of course, politicians don't care about
Why would that be a law?
Matters like this. And finally, if you want something a bit more recent to truly show you
oh
how
my God, look at this.
is, then look no further. This was a study published in February 4th, 2025, examining the rate of death of animals in PETA shelters in the year of 2024. Now, PETA is established in the state of Virginia.
This
The
is
average
fucking
rate
insane.
of euthanasia for all agencies in Virginia is 10%. That means that 90% of their animals find a new home.
That
They
is
successfully get
insane
adopted,
numbers,
with
bro.
10% being euthanized, which
Yeah.
is reasonable. Some cats or dogs, they might find on the street that have a
70%
very bad
animals are
disease,
killed
they
in
could be
PETA.
on their last legs. And
What
getting them
the
euthanasia
fuck?
is the most humane thing to do. That way they don't squirm in pain for the rest of their lives. PETA, on the other hand, euthanizes 64% of their dogs, 69% of their cats, and 67% of all animals in general that are held in their shelters. Think about this for a
Why are
second.
we not burning
Only
their offices down?
30%
Like, this makes no sense.
somehow find a new home. The majority find themselves dead. Does that seem like an organization that likes animals to you?
Holy
I mean,
shit.
look at this. In 2014, they euthanized 96%
Oh
of
my
their
god.
cats. Very interesting, right? Especially seeing that the founder of PETA has already expressed the
Is
fact
it
that
more
stray cats
humane?
shouldn't exist. In other words, they should all be killed.
These
I mean, I just find
people,
this so disgusting, but
I
also
swear
so
to God.
fascinating. PETA always likes to ignore the fact that humans and animals are fundamentally different, which is why we shouldn't eat them. Does that mean we should euthanize 69% of children that are currently in shelters waiting to be adopted by a family? I wonder what this failure of an organization would say. Oh wait, I actually know exactly what they would say. One look at their social media in 2025,
Oh
and the
my
only thing
God.
you'll find is rage bait. That's what they
Jesus.
still thrive on. They want views. They
That
want
granny
relevancy
looks
at any
wild.
cost, no matter how stupid they might look. in people's eyes. And it's
Holy
that same
shit.
exact philosophy that made them fuck around and
That's a
find
horror movie
out
poster
and
right
influence
there.
It is,
loyal
it is.
communities on the internet, and it resulted in them wiping the floor with PETA's pathetic ass.
I hope so.
This all brings us back to the game Uma Musume
Okay.
Pretty Derby.
Good
Available
shit.
both on PC and mobile.
Hell
it
yeah.
pretty much took over the world this year. In fact, if you were
Available
able
on
to catch the
PC
Game
and
Awards
mobile, this is a
recently,
fucking
you
ad
would have
read,
seen
isn't
that
it?
actually won Best Mobile Game. The same company behind that very successful game that's generated billions of dollars to date is also behind its extremely successful anime series. All the horse girls in the anime
Horse
and the game
girls.
are actually based off their real-life counterparts. This was only possible to do after getting direct approval from each one of their owners. But that's not all, of course. They weren't just able to make an awesome game, some great anime, and respect the medium. Horse racing has been a dying sport for years now, and they were able to revitalize the entire industry by bringing in such a huge amount of young people that are now interested in it, thanks to
Okay.
the game and anime. In fact, the developer,
Interesting.
Psy Games, wouldn't just support horse racing directly by sponsoring multiple events. They would also make it a point to support retired racehorses. making sure that they're not
Oh, that's
neglected
cool.
and encouraging fans to donate
That's
to them.
good.
So they
In fact,
give
ever
money.
Since Uma Musume Pretty Derby had come out in Japan and then eventually came out globally, the Retired Horse Association of Japan, who takes care of all retired racehorses, has seen a massive surge in donations.
Okay.
And look at this, they had created a fundraiser back in October to create a memorial for multiple retired horses that had passed away recently, and they were able to raise 6.3 million yen out of their 10
Memorial?
million goal.
Okay.
Before Uma Musume,
I don't think that building statues for dead horses is what they should focus on, instead of like giving them, housing and food and making sure they, live until, they get old and pass away. But it's a nice gesture, I guess.
I don't think they're taking the money and building statues.
Well, that's what they say. Look, that's what they say. Look,
You said a
you see.
memorial.
Yeah, memorial is the fucking statue. Look, you see.
I don't think that's that's where
I mean, I'm
all
sure.
the money went,
I
though.
can't read. Like in Japanese, it says "sumimase," "opai kudasai," and that's it. Like that's the only thing I understand. But it looks to me that there is a horse statue and 3 horses that passed
Well,
away.
these are the ones that died. These are like a memorial, but the other one was
So
about the donations to the retired horses.
Exactly. The other website. Yeah. So I would prefer that all money goes, to supporting the still alive animals and making sure they have a wonderful rest of their time.
Awesome. Now, with all this info in mind, this is me barely scraping the surface, by the way. How much worse does this
That's
push from
crazy
PETA
that
actually
fucking
sound like?
animals are
Going
doing like
after
this.
a developer and a game that has done more for horses than they could ever even conceive. I mean, what a desperate cry for attention. The replies would, of course, immediately point this out, like this one that ratioed the original post by like 5 times, saying Uma Musume does more to the welfare of the horses it honors than misleading and self-serving posts like this do. Do better or be quiet. I mean, not a single one of these 11,000 replies were positive. They were just shitting on PETA's entire existence. The audacity for an organization that euthanizes 70% of its animals to talk about euthanasia is wild. Just so you know, this was a severe leg injury that Silent Suzuka experienced on the racetrack. Once that happens to a horse, they are guaranteed to die a slow and painful death. Euthanasia here was actually, unlike PETA's shelters, humane. But they've lost the plot since 2003. Reasoning with them is pointless. But people decided to quote tweet them anyway because why not? They're clowns, they deserve it. This person would say the irony is that Uma Musume itself is responsible for the increase of the Retired Horse Racing Association's donations in care for the animals.
Holy
this
shit.
Bensai Farm, Northern Farm, and Nice Nature.
It went 70 times.
They raised over $1 million combined,
wow.
spread purely by the fans' love of the horses. Here we can see a chart of Nice Nature's birthday donation trends, and as you can see, there is a massive uptick in donations after Uma Musume Pretty Derby had come out. I mean, it would go from 1,700,000 yen to 35 million after the game had come out. That's a multiplication of almost 35 times, and it kept rising higher
Holy
and higher,
shit.
reaching 74 million in 2024.
So just because of the
let's make a
game.
disgusting drawing instead, criticizing the game instead of helping.
Now, if you want to talk about influence, that's how you do it, bro. Like, imagine being a company about protecting animals, okay? And then everybody fucking hates you and hope you disband. And then there's a phone game about horse girls. And they do it 50 times better than the company supposedly to protecting the animals. Like, that's a fucking wild times, bro. When a mobile game outperforms this billion-dollar company that's supposedly to fight for animal rights, how are they still not... Dude, it has to be against the laws to... There's like, it blows my mind. How can you just kill 70% of your animals in your shelters on the same fucking day?
I've seen certain... Because every different states in America... See, I don't know too much about this, but they all have their different laws and shit. There's a lot of just... There aren't that many no-kill shelters. So most of the shelters you see are just... They're like, well, yeah, we have to kill them. We don't have the funding to take care of them, that sort of stuff. And since PETA, like they said, is based in one of those states, then they gives them full control, being within the realm of the law, to be like, well, we can't house these, we have to kill them. And then they're like, we're going to go out and get more. And then, oh no, we can't house them, we have to kill them.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't know how they're still functioning. Like, how are they getting funding? Like you said, who's giving these people money?
No, not normal people. They have to be insane. Some kind of billionaire that washing the taxes or something like that. It has to be like that.
It's probably they got a bunch of people like 20 years ago to subscribe to giving them money, and people just never canceled those subscriptions. And then they don't go on Twitter and shit, so they're just like, oh yeah, I donate to PETA, knowing nothing about them.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Old racist grandma's giving off half of her social security to PETA.
Okay, what's this?
Yeah, just how much Japanese people in general, including the voice actress of Silent Suzuka herself,
voice actor of the video game. Okay.
In an interview, she was literally crying over Silent Suzuka's memory, wondering if she could properly convey the spirit of this legendary horse. Do PETA employees cry when they euthanize 70% of their animals for no reason?
They feel
That's
nothing.
a rhetorical question. And then, of course, comes the very embarrassing community note that came in different languages. This is the Japanese one. It would say, this is hate speech. Might be a bit of a rough translation. Anyway, although the game Uma Musume Pretty Derby is in no way opposed to PETA's philosophy of establishing and defending animal rights, this post provokes those involved with the game. Reference about PETA. So that link is meant to show you that PETA's philosophy is to stand against anyone opposed to animal rights. Cool. Then it goes on to say, this post violates the guidelines of Uma Musume Pretty Derby by denigrating the rights of others, making it an antisocial post that does not follow the rules, like guidelines for derivative works of Uma Musume Pretty Derby. So here we get linked to the website of Umemusume, outlining their terms of service for fan works. In a nutshell, you can create fan art, you can create fan merch, you can do all those things, but they cannot be political, they cannot be sexual.
I mean, I should have translated
and they
this.
sure as hell cannot be gory or disturbing. That's exactly what PETA
No
was
gore or
doing.
disturbing,
And finally,
okay.
the community note would say, provocative posts intended to attract attention also have an aspect of spam and therefore violate X's terms of service.
Get
This also
served.
would be echoed by the community note in English saying Cygames guidelines strictly prohibit violent or grotesque depictions of Umemusume characters to respect the real horses. Using the IP for political advocacy or commercial gain is a direct violation of their derivative
Hell yeah.
guidelines. So seeing this, Twitter was overjoyed, begging Cygames to
Good.
sue ever-living shit
Lawsuit,
out of
What is it?
please.
A
There's
lawsuit.
approximately
Please.
5 different violations of Umemusume community guidelines and actual grounds for a hefty lawsuit. I think it was safe to say at this point that no one was siding with PETA. But we're not just
Yeah,
talking
fuck
about
them.
the English-speaking audience here. This travesty had reached Japan, and the damage to their image there became catastrophic. A Japanese politician by the name of Kurishita Zenko, who used to
Okay.
be a part of the Japanese Metropolitan Assembly, would catch
We
wind of
involve the
this,
politics.
and he would have something to say. It would be in Japanese, so here's the translation. He'd say, PETA, the world's largest animal rights organization, has suddenly made the following post using illustrations from Umemusume, sparking controversy. It already has a community note attached, stating it violates content guidelines, but we must recognize that just because it's a massive international organization doesn't necessarily mean it's fair, in reference to following the rules. He'd then reply to his own post, continuing, saying, PETA's incoherent accusations against Nintendo are still fresh in our memory. It almost feels like they're targeting Japanese content. Surely there are other things they should be doing to protect animals. He would continue further,
Oh, no.
Hell yeah, brother.
They found it.
earlier, saying,
Bro,
thank
this
you
is
for the
crazy.
information. I couldn't believe my eyes. Not many people in Japan know what kind of organization PETA is, so we should take this opportunity to spread the word.
I
See how
love
much
it.
damage this did. Look, this
Get
philosophy
'em.
of bad publicity is always
I
good
love
publicity.
this.
No. Japan was under the
Get
impression that
cooked.
PETA actually stood for animal rights. Now they're finding out what kind of organization they truly are. In other words, they fucked around and they found out. But the finding out part wasn't over just yet.
Oh, there's
That's
more.
because out of nowhere, the owner of the late Silent Suzuka would say, in a quote,
Go to hell,
straight
shit
up,
organization.
go to hell, you shitty
yeah.
organization. This would get 3 million views,
Holy shit.
75,000 likes. I mean, straight up full support for this guy. And he's totally right. Someone would reply to the owner's post saying, I remember Suzuka's fracture being a comminuted fracture where the broken bones didn't protrude out. Not an open fracture like in that shit organization's picture where the bone is visible from the outside. But was I wrong? The owner would say, that's right. In other words,
So they just
PETA was
made
straight
up.
lying. That's not how the
My
fracture
God,
looked.
man.
Am I surprised? No. Someone else would reply with, is this the group that was saying about Mario Kart's cow putting a nose ring on it as a symbol of livestock? This was in reference to what the politician had said earlier, that they had tried to go after Nintendo for this Mario Kart character. Like, how ridiculous is this? Their marketing campaign said, let cow race free, remove her nose ring.
It's a
Like,
pixel.
surely there must be more important
It is
things to do.
pixels.
Yeah.
It's
Years
not
later,
real,
the
bro.
owner of the late Silent
Can't
Suzuka would
believe,
quote
man.
tweet.
I'm
the
getting
tweet was
angry
solid.
again.
He called PETA a shitty organization and said, the resentful voices from all over the world against that shit organization group are intense. Seriously, what the hell did they do to get hated this much? Lol. Well, the Japanese people are slowly finding out, aren't they? In fact, my favorite tweet in all this, okay, was this guy going back to that dog AI-generated image of a fish being turned into sushi, quote tweeting it and saying, it's honestly hilarious how the obese fast food nation that's all about burgers is nitpicking Japanese sushi.
Holy
Oh,
PETA wasn't just ruining their reputation
God
worldwide,
damn.
it was
Oh,
ruining the American
burn.
reputation worldwide. Not that it was very good to begin with, but still, it's not like they need more negative shit. Overall, this whole thing was an absolute mess.
How much we have? Okay,
And
we're
it only
saying.
served to make it known that
That's a
PETA
crazy,
is
bro.
terrible. Now everyone is starting to get aware of this. This was one of the worst decisions the social media team of PETA could have taken. And now people are simply begging Cygames to sue the ever-living shit out of
I
it.
mean, it's.
I usually try to stay
I
neutral about
hope they
videos,
get
but dude,
cooked,
even I'm
bro.
hoping that
They have to be
happens, okay?
punished.
I truly want
It's
to see that.
insane.
That would be so cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching until the end. If you're interested in the entire history,
You know, like, this is one of the things where I feel like they are protected because they're such a big company. Even if, like, they lose 90% of their funding, they will still stay alive. You know, like, they are so big and, like, self-sufficient I don't believe that they're gonna disband anything. Like, if I go and let's say, Peta revenue 2025. Is that even going to look? This is insane. Current projection of Peta's revenue is 17 million. Per employee, Peta assessment to generate 160. So every employee earns 165. Okay, it's not just for employees, it's for animals. Quote unquote. Maybe for some animals too. But this is, bro. 17 million. Okay. I wonder how much they did previously. I wonder how much they did previously.
They're a non-profit as well, which
Yeah.
probably helps them when it comes to fucking certain legalities.
Uh-huh. So they have 100 employees. For what? What do you do? How many of you post this bullshit posters? That's crazy. Anyways, I feel upset. I don't like I did not like Peta before, but now I like them even less. I hope they suffer. I hope they have a terrible year. But yeah, that was Peta video.